Welcome back. You're here with Crystal from Crystal Clear Coaching. We are here. Technically, it's the 17th of March. I did the thing again where it's past midnight. I put it off. Anyway, here we are. We're making it happen anyway. So here at Crystal Clear, we like to tune into us and put, the most important person in our life first, which is us, for our own goddamn lives. So yay for that. It's very important that we sit with ourselves and learn what makes us tick and what excites us and what we want to move towards and what we want more of in our life and what we want less of in our life. Just really figuring out what we goddamn want, And there's a lot of people in this world that don't really know what they want. They know what they don't want, maybe, so that's the start. But a lot of the times, what people think they want and they're going for, they might achieve that thing, only to realise, oh, that wasn't it. I had a great moment where I was like, I did the thing, woo, and I feel wonderful, yay, and then life goes on and becomes normal. And what's worth noting is what's the feeling they got from completing that thing? And how can they find ways to cultivate feeling that way no matter what's showing up in their life? Because we just want to feel, we want something for the way it's going to make us feel about ourselves. So what if we just chose to step into feeling that way before it happens? I mean, I know obviously it's a lot easier when reality is showing you, yeah, you can feel that way. But why don't you just bypass all the hurdles and choose to feel that way right now? And it doesn't mean you can't also work towards the things that are important to you, and that it's not worth it to have a goal that you have to work towards. But why not practice feeling into the feeling that you want to get from this goal and practice cultivating that so that you get to enjoy the journey more? And thus the journey is your life at the end of the day. Put together a whole bunch of journeys that you've had, and that's your life. So yeah, what feeling do you want to feel that you're chasing through whatever goals you have? And if you don't know what you want out of your goals, well, I've probably jumped about 10 steps ahead there, but I would do that. I get deep too fast. I'm okay with it. I actually really love that about myself. Sometimes it's oversharing, and sometimes I'm with people that aren't receptive, but you know what? I'm receptive to sharing it, and they don't have to be receptive to receiving it. I know that I'm happy in myself too. I prefer to overshare and have it potentially help someone that's going through something similar, rather than undershare, go through it alone, and then other people that are going through the same things think they're alone. I learned a long time ago in my first personal development course that we all think we're so unique and things are not happening for others like they are for us, but if you just actually learn to communicate how you're feeling, you quite often will find a lot of people that resonate with a similar situation they've had in their life. And so I learned the power of sharing. And sometimes I'll make a bad judgment and share somewhere where it's not received well, or I'm met with silence, and that's okay. That's more a reflection on the person that I'm sharing with than me. I get to just show up and share and be the authentic person that I want to be. So Yeah. And I'm always an advocate for calling up really, anyone's higher version of themselves that maybe they dare not even believe that they could be, you know? So I want to make sure that I don't let my own awkwardness or like my inner child that wants to try and people please and show up nicely and not ruffle any feathers. I want to make sure that when she comes up to say hello, like, oh, maybe we shouldn't, I just say, hey, darling, that's all good. I appreciate your point of view. It kept us safe for a very long time. You're a legend. But like, we're going to do it in a different way because there is a inner child in this person that desperately wants to be seen and have their dreams come true. And that's not going to be possible unless we call this person forward. And maybe it won't be us that calls them forward, but I'm holding space that I could call them forward by choosing to have that conversation, leaning into that thing that feels like not okay to say, like it's too much, it's oversharing. Yeah. I just think there's a lot of people that are still learning what they want. And I mean, it ebbs and flows and changes and grows and evolves. And yeah, I mean, there's different things I want on any given day. And I'm still getting clear on it again and again and again. Because I have so many desires I want to go after, things I want to create in the world. And I get overwhelmed by them sometimes and then end up stagnant and not doing anything. I'm hoping that we're still recording because it kind of paused me for a second. I got all frozen. Anyway, so yeah, and there's, I mean, come back to the classic film The Notebook with Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams, and just like they haven't seen each other for years, and she thinks that he didn't write her, and he's like, no, I wrote you every day for a year, you never replied. And turns out that the mum had been interfering and hiding these letters, and anyway, she's engaged to another man, and they're in the rain, and like she's back in the town, and it's the first time they've seen each other in ages, and Ryan just screams like, "What do you want?" She's like, I don't know, like either way, whatever I do, someone's gonna get hurt. And it's like, no, what do you want? It's like, I don't know, it's not that simple. Yes, it is. What do you want? Like, do you want me or do you want this other person? Or something else? You know what you feel at your core. You need to sit with yourself to feel that. And whatever you feel there at your core, that's your truth, man. Like, why not go for it? What's, if you're going down a path that doesn't feel like it's aligned in what's at your core, but it's the right thing to do according to maybe everyone else around you, or your perception of everyone else around you, just think how you're going to feel 6 months into that, a year into that, 5 years into that, if that's a big life decision that's going to stick with you as well. Maybe it's not always. Isn't it better to go for what you want? Maybe ruffle some feathers, but know at the end of the day, anyone that truly loves you and cares for you and supports you is going to support that. And they'll be stoked for you. They might not understand it at first. There might be a bit of a period of it being hard, but don't you deserve to get what you want? What's on your heart, on your soul, at your core? What you truly, truly want deep down. I want everyone to get what they truly want deep down. In like a in their higher self version. I'm not talking about anyone that has horrible tendencies, obviously. I'm not talking about anyone that seemingly looks like they want to hurt people, which I hate that I even have to bring this up, but there's a lot of people out there hurting people, so no, I'm talking about the inner child, like that, even that person that is known to hurt people has an inner child inside them, and many inner children that want good things for them, want to do good things in the world, and at some point it spiraled downwards to end up in depraved behaviour, and that's not okay. But there's still a version of them within them that would have held a higher vision for themselves in their life and being a good person. I want to believe that. Anyway, I really don't want to talk about those kind of people. I just wanted to put a caveat that whenever I'm talking about I want people to get what they want, it is when they're really choosing what's good for their best and highest and the best and highest of the world, kind of hand in hand, in a way that's not hurting others needlessly, There's times where you'll hurt others without meaning to, and it's just unintentional, and it's just a part of you going, actually might be that you follow your true path and what's at your core, and that disappoints some people around you, but I'd like to think that even if those people might be upset at first, down the road it's going to pan out better for them. They'll open doors for them that they wouldn't have had before, or if nothing else, if they're really not showing up for you in your life as a true friend or whatever capacity they're in, it's probably better that you don't have them in your life, So what do you want? What do you want? Think about that. Maybe there's a whole list of things. What feels most important though? What feels like most deep within your soul of what you want? And then think, what will having that do for you? What do you get out of having that? And yes, there might be physical things, material things. There might be just a feeling that you're after. You just want to be happy. You just want to feel alive again, What will having that do for you? And then how will you know when you have it? Now that's an important question, because we can so easily have these desires that we kind of put in these little rainbow bubbles that we get excited about, but there's no measurable way to know when you have reached it, so you keep moving the goalpost very easily. So how will you know when you have it is like finding out the exact measurable goal that you're setting for yourself to bring in that desire that you want to create. And then where, when, and with whom would you like to have this? It just fleshes out that measurable a little bit more, like who's around you? Who gets to enjoy this with you? Where are you? You can just picture it a bit more. You can visualize it a bit more through this fleshing out of what you want. And then what might you lose now that you value if you were to have this? Wait, no, first let's skip ahead a little bit. What is it like now? What's the reality of you not having this desire in your life like now? What's it like not having it? What's reality? What is the dark side, the seedy underbelly, the mehness of life, the sadness of life, maybe. What's it like right now not having this thing that you so deeply desire? All right, it's on your heart, it's like your core. But maybe it doesn't feel permissible to you to go for it because it might hurt some feelings. It might derail your plans. But you got to question sometimes, are those plans more important to you than this thing? Because if this is the thing that, like, the real key thing that's at your core and your heart and your soul, are those plans what you want to prioritize over that? Is there a way maybe that you could have a version of those plans but also have it so it could work in synchronicity with cultivating what's at your core? Things to think about, things to consider. And then we'll jump back to the other question. Got a little chaotic there. What might you lose now that you value if you were to have this? And this is a really telling question as to why you haven't gone for it, or what's blocking you from it, really. It might just be as simple as comfort and time and energy. It could be one particular family member in your head that is just playing on repeat saying, you can't do that. And it might be a version of them from 20, 30 years ago. And actually, if you spoke to the actual physical person today, they might be like, no, go for it, man. That sounds awesome. I think they'll really help you. You know, I think they'll really make you happy. I want that for you. You don't know. So you just got to notice where have we kind of generalized and distorted and decided things can't be for us or can't be open to us. When is that actually not true, you know? You're just blocking yourself from getting what you desire because it doesn't feel safe to your system. It doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel survivable. This is really what it gets down to. Our nervous systems are fucking powerful. Our subconscious minds are so powerful. And even if we've been living in survival mode for years and years and years, trying to step out of that is going to feel uncomfortable to the system. And the system's been surviving in the survival mode for so many years. So, well, follow that path, you'll survive. Clearly, because we survived so far. Well, it's like you've got to teach your nervous system, show and prove through action to your nervous system that you can go for what you want and still survive. But that takes action, consistent action. Keep moving forward. What might you lose that you value now if you were to have this desire of yours? Yeah. So hopefully that made you think. Maybe you did the exercises I was asking all these questions. Be really helpful. They're some brilliant questions, and I'm just such an advocate for each and every person in this world to sit with themselves and get to know themselves and how they tick, and be able to discern and trust themselves and their own inner knowing as to what's most important for them in their self-sovereign life. And the more they sit with it in moments alone, the more that when a quick decision point comes up that they have to choose, the more they'll know what their instant yes and no is, because they'll learn to trust their system, their intuition, their body keeps the score and tells them, this is a yes for us or this is a no for us. in any given moment. And I want that for everyone. Except when it doesn't, when it comes to the body. Because sometimes it is just subconscious patterns keeping us scared and in self-sabotage. So I will say that with a caveat. But you're a wonderful human being who deserves to be choosing what lights you up and sharing that with the world in your own way and getting what you desire and figuring out what your blocks are and choosing to step over them. But you've got to do the work. No one else can do it for you. No one. Not even the most, closest person to you in the world. No one else can do your work for you. You are your own human being that you need to look after, because no one else is going to look after you for you. Look, you might have people that provide services to you, that you can pay to help you, and that's great. But you've still got to do the brunt of the work when it comes to looking after you and making yourself happy. And if everyone did that, maybe this world would be a more healed place. And then we would be able to fill ourselves up first and then meet others and connect with others from this filled up place to be able to then, build better ways of being in the world, better systems in the world that allow for human potential and growth and love and community and not the horrible crap we've got going on around the world lately, So that's me doing what we don't want. But just like a peaceful reality where we can, travel the world if it lights us up. We can, we can make the choices for ourselves and no one's getting hurt. No one's starting wars. No one's lying through their teeth about everything and somehow getting to be in a powerful office. Stuff like that. But more importantly, just come back to, what do you want? What's at your core? What's most important to you? And, I invite you to kind of ask that question to yourself on a regular basis. And maybe you want to save this video to come back to later and remind yourself and go through different factions of your life, different things that you want, and feel them out so that you can kind of work on one at a time. And then see, by feeling into these questions, what that clears up for you, what that makes possible. The possibilities are endless. Alright, well, I'm sending you much love. Thank you for listening, and I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully earlier in the day.